Most men drift. They follow routines that numb their ambition, chase pleasures that drain their vitality, and surround themselves with distractions disguised as responsibilities. From the moment they wake up to the second they collapse into sleep, they are reacting, never ruling, never leading. And Machiavelli would say this plainly: such men are not living, they are surviving, useless to themselves and invisible to the world. To stop wasting your life, the first step is to confront this drifting with ruthless honesty. You must pull back the veil of delusion and ask, what have I truly built? What have I mastered? What legacy am I on track to leave behind? Most will not dare to answer, because the truth is bitter, and Machiavelli reminds us that truth, while feared, is the only ground from which true power grows. It is not enough to simply want more out of life. Everyone says they do. What matters is how many are willing to sacrifice for it, how many are willing to detach from comforts, to destroy their old self, and to commit to long periods of hardship to carve out a better life. If you are not willing, you've already surrendered to mediocrity before the battle has even begun. Machiavelli believed that men are not naturally good. They must be trained, hardened, and reshaped by necessity. Likewise, potential is not something you're handed. It is extracted, and extracting your potential requires daily, deliberate suffering. Most people waste their lives because they wrung from this pain, opting instead for pleasures that numb the soul. Men lack purpose. They are easily ruled, controlled by emotions, influenced by every passing trend. Are you any different? If your identity is tied to likes, gossip, or external validation, then you are no ruler. You're a subject in someone else's kingdom. The first principle then is this: take control of your inner domain. Master your mind before you attempt to shape the world. Your thoughts, your impulses, your patterns, these are your battleground. Most men are conquered from within before they ever face real resistance outside. Do not be one of them. Audit your mind, remove weakness, replace it with discipline, ambition, and action. Ask yourself, how many hours have you truly wasted this week? Be exact. How many went to mindless content, comfort food, gossip, indecision, overthinking? If you lost 20 hours to waste, then you've thrown away nearly a full day of your existence. Multiply that by 5 weeks, that's over 1,000 hours gone. What empire could you have built in that time? This is the awakening. The moment where you stop saying, I'll start next week, and start saying, I begin now, where every hour becomes a resource, not to be spent, but to be invested. Machiavelli warned that fortune is fickle, but time is even crueler. You cannot store it, earn it back, or plead for more. You either use it or lose it forever. So what does it look like to use time wisely? Begin with brutal clarity. Write down your top 3 goals, life goals. Not get fit, not be happy. Go deeper. What empire are you building? What legacy will bear your name? What skill or craft will be your sword? Until you name your mountain, you will wander in the valley. Then build structure. The man without structure becomes a slave to distraction. Wake up with a plan. Block your hours. Eliminate chaos. Schedule your reading, your practice, your silence. Build rituals around growth. A king does not let the day dictate him, he dictates the day. Your calendar should reflect your ambition, or else you have none. Machiavelli taught that even the most virtuous rulers must at times be cunning, manipulative, or feared. Why? Because the world rewards results, not intentions. In your own life, this means you must become strategically selfish. Say no to what drains you. Cut out aimless friendships. Stop explaining your goals to people who have none. Choose solitude over distraction. Most people are addicted to dopamine. You must be addicted to momentum. Every book read, every cold shower, every discipline choice, it all compounds. Machiavelli said, he who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. Start by commanding yourself. Your actions, your urges, your time. Until you rule yourself, you cannot rule anything. And yes, this will be lonely at first. Great men often walk alone while the masses huddle together for comfort. But solitude is where you meet your real self, your raw self, the version of you that isn't shaped by noise or validation. Embrace this space. It's where clarity is born and where great missions are forged. Cut the fat from your days, audit your inputs, the shows you watch, the voices you follow, the content you consume. Everything you absorb shapes you. Most media today is mental junk food. It pacifies, but never sharpens. A Machiavellian mind only feeds on what sharpens judgment, strengthens discipline, or improves position. Trash everything else. Let's not pretend you will die. And most die with their best ideas unwritten, their finest words unsaid, their greatest potential unfulfilled. Why? Because they kept postponing the pursuit. They told themselves they had more time. Don't be like them. Death is the greatest motivator, not because it's dark, but because it's final. If you lived like you only had 6 months left, what would change? Would you still scroll for hours? Would you still entertain toxic relationships? Would you still silence your ambitions just to fit in? The Machiavellian man asks, what am I willing to sacrifice so my life becomes undeniable? Then he sacrifices it without complaint. Power is not gifted, it's taken. Potential is not revealed through thought, it's revealed through warfare, against your laziness, against your fear, against your softness. This is the beginning of your war. The enemy is not outside, it is within. But here's the truth. Every time you act with intention, every time you push through resistance, you kill the enemy. You don't need permission to evolve. You don't need validation to take control. You don't need perfect conditions to begin. You need courage. You need will. You need the fire of purpose burning beneath your... Once you awaken to your potential, your next enemy rises from within, weakness. It wears many masks, self-doubt, laziness, guilt, overthinking, but its core is always the same, a force that drags you back into mediocrity. Machiavelli taught rulers to be merciless with threats. Likewise, you must be merciless with your inner enemy. Self-sabotage is the assassin within your walls. You feed it every time you hesitate, every time you say maybe tomorrow, every time you betray your own plan. It starts as a whisper, rest a little longer, skip it just today, but that whisper becomes a command. If you obey it too often, it becomes your identity. You must become aware of these patterns. Start observing how you avoid hard things. When a task feels heavy, do you delay it, distract yourself, overanalyze it? Weakness is seductive. It promises comfort now in exchange for regret later, but regret is a slow, soul-crushing poison. Better to suffer now than rot slowly in disappointment. Machiavelli said, "It is better to be impetuous than cautious," and in the battle against weakness, this is law. Act before your fear catches up. Do the thing before your mind fills with excuses. When your body says, "Don't get up," rise anyway. When your brain says, "This isn't urgent," execute anyway. This is how warriors are forged. Self-sabotage thrives in softness, and softness is born from a life without resistance. So you must deliberately introduce resistance. Wake early, train your body hard, say no to your cravings, spend long hours on mastery, make it normal to do what others avoid. This trains your mind to act even when it's hard. Are either allies or traitors. Build habits that reinforce your power. Simple, unbreakable rules. Read 20 pages daily. Work on your craft 3 hours. Train physically. Reflect nightly. These acts, done consistently, are not small. They are atomic weapons against the enemy of your future self. Stack them and you become unstoppable. To stop wasting your potential, you must stop treating yourself like a fragile thing. You are not fragile. You've just been conditioned to believe that discomfort is harmful. It's not. Discomfort is sacred. It is the fire that burns off weakness and leaves behind steel. The more you run toward it, the more you grow. But what about failure? Machiavelli had no illusions. Failure is inevitable, but it is not defeat. Failure is feedback. It is data. Learn from it. Adjust your plan, then move again. The man who never fails is the one who never moves. Don't fear looking foolish. Fear standing still. Fear wasting another year. One of the most subtle forms of self-sabotage is perfectionism, the idea that you must wait until conditions are ideal before you start. This is a lie. Perfectionism is fear dressed in logic. Begin now with what you have. Machiavelli warned rulers, waiting too long is more dangerous than acting imperfectly. Kill hesitation. Kill analysis, paralysis. Stop researching endlessly. Stop asking for more time. What you need is not more knowledge, it's execution. You know what you should be doing, so do it. Put in the reps. The clarity you want will only come through consistent, courageous action. Machiavellian power does not wait, it moves. You must also learn to govern your emotions. Weak men let feelings drive them. Powerful men understand feelings, but act on principle. You won't always feel like working. You won't always feel motivated. Good, that's your test. Discipline begins where motivation ends. That's the difference between the ordinary and the dangerous. Machiavelli said rulers must be both lion and fox, strong in your life. This means building emotional armor. Don't be reactive. Don't chase validation. Don't get rattled by setbacks. Stay steady, like a general in the middle of chaos. Feel your emotions, but never be ruled by them. Rule through them. Stop explaining yourself. Stop defending your dreams to those who don't understand them. Machiavelli advised silence over openness. Be deliberate with your words. Keep your plans close. Let your actions speak. Let your results command attention. If you must talk, talk only to those who are building, not drifting. Envy is another silent killer. It distracts you from your own mission. You see others winning and feel behind. Don't. You're not late. You're just undisciplined. Comparison is useless unless it ignites action. Stop scrolling through fake lives. Double down on your real one. Comparison is a thief. Grind is the cure, another form of weakness. Over-identifying with failure. Just because you've been lazy doesn't mean you are lazy. Just because you've wasted time doesn't mean you're doomed. Stop making your past a cage. Use it as fuel. Machiavelli said history teaches strategy. So let your past mistakes become lessons, not shackles. Reframe your struggles as necessary pain. Now that you've awakened to your potential and declared war on weakness, the next step is to build power. Not just physical or financial power, but internal power, strategic, deliberate, and quiet strength. Machiavelli said that a man who desires influence must master both force and cunning. You must become strong and wise, respected, not pitied. Most people live passively. They chase pleasure and avoid responsibility. They try to be liked by everyone, and in doing so, become forgettable. Machiavelli would laugh at such weakness. He taught that to gain power, you must first stop fearing disapproval. You must become a man who moves with intention, not social approval. Power begins when you control outcomes. If your emotions control your actions, you are powerless. If your habits are dictated by your mood, you are a slave to impulse. But if you build a system, a mindset, and a plan, then act even when you don't feel like it, you become dangerous, you become rare. To be powerful, your word must mean something. If you say you'll show up, show up. If you say you'll finish, finish. Most people are flaky, vague, inconsistent. When your actions consistently match your words, people begin to respect you. You become a person others can rely on. This is the foundation of influence. Build skill before you build reputation. Most chase fame before mastery. That is vanity. Machiavelli would tell you to become so competent, so undeniably skilled, that even your enemies respect you. Power comes from being useful, not just loud. Master a craft, sharpen your mind, and let your excellence speak for itself. Learn to think in moves, not moments. Life is not just about today, it's a game of strategy. Machiavelli advised princes to look ahead, to anticipate changes, to never be caught unprepared. You must do the same. Think must multiply. Don't just trade hours for money. Build systems that work for you. Create content that earns while you sleep. Build relationships that open doors. Machiavellian strategy is about using less energy for greater results. One powerful man is worth more than 1,000 average ones. Why? Because he understands timing. He knows when to move, when to speak, when to wait. You must develop this awareness. Study human nature. Know when to strike, when to hold silence, when to disappear. Power is not noise, it's precision. In a world full of noise, silence is a weapon. The man who speaks less commands more attention. Don't reveal everything. Don't post your every move. Keep mystery around you. Machiavelli believed fear is stronger than love if one cannot be both. To be both, you must learn to control perception. Reputation is armor. Guard it well. Every decision you make either strengthens or weakens how you're seen. Be consistent. Be intentional. Be unshakable in your principles. People follow confidence. They follow clarity. If your reputation is clean, strong, and earned, doors will open before you even knock. But understand this, building power will threaten the weak. Your focus will irritate the lazy. Your ambition will expose their apathy. Let them talk. Let them doubt you. Machiavelli advised rulers to be ready to withstand envy and resistance. Don't shrink. Double down. Use criticism as confirmation that you're doing something worth noticing. Learn to influence. Study persuasion. Understand status, tone, timing.